We are in Laguna Beach, and today I'm about to smoke with bare knuckle boxer, former world champion, Mark Irwin, the Shark. We're about to get high at his gym. This is high intimacy. That's my quest of knowing America, being high. And here we are at the gym, Laguna Beach. What's up? Thank you for having me here.
Good to have you, brother. Thanks for coming by.
Crazy. That's crazy. Can we check this? Is where you train?
Let's take a look. This is the gym. This is our bag room over here. Heavy bags, speed bag in the corner.
It's almost, you got the rhythm like a drummer.
Yeah, for sure. This is our boxing ring. We got some weight equipment. This is Bobby's.
Oh,
Something like that.
Something like that. Okay, let's sit down. Let's get high. Let's talk about. It's my quest of knowing America. So, all right. I'm fucking great. Look at that. All right. When did you start fighting?
I started really late in life. So I actually ran track in college. I did the 1 and the 2 mile race. And school is hard and it's a lot of reading, and we ended up dropping out.
At what age?
I was probably early 20s, and I started boxing.
In your early 20s?
Yeah, I was 22, 23 when I started.
Did you already got some fights in, or?
No, so I started training in the gym. After a couple months, I decided that I was going to do one amateur fight just for fun, because I thought I could knock somebody out, and I thought it'd be a funny story. So I trained for it. I had my amateur fight. I won. I knocked the dude out.
So you went to a gym, random gym, and you just started boxing.
Yeah, I started training at LA Boxing Aliso Viejo, which is no longer a gym, but it was a really good gym back in the day. And when I started training there, Jesse Reed Sr., who's a Hall of Fame boxing coach who's trained over 30 world champions, he was in there. And he would train Malik Scott, who at the time was an undefeated heavyweight title contender, and then Reese Bennett, who was a bronze medalist at the national championships as an amateur. And so those were some of my first training partners, and I got to come up underneath those guys and learn how to box, training with them and watching them in the gym.
So you told them right up, look, I want to fight?
Oh, I mean, initially I wanted to have one fight. I thought
you just wanted one fight and that's it?
Yeah, I thought it'd be funny. I thought I could win. Right, and I did, and I had a lot of fun doing it, and then I got a job at the gym.
So first you were fighting with gloves, right?
Yeah, correct.
Gloves,
amateur boxing.
you got the helmet,
the Olympic style. Yeah,
okay. And you did that, and you won your first fight.
Yep.
And after that, you got a job at the gym. So what you were doing at the gym?
Teaching boxing classes.
After just one fight?
Yeah. And then, so I'm working at the gym, and then they're like, oh, you work here, you should keep fighting. So I was like, yeah, I guess that makes sense. So I kept competing, and I won a couple state championships for California as an amateur. And that was a lot of fun, but that was already more than I ever planned on doing. You know what I mean? It had gone way farther than I had ever anticipated, because I just wanted to have one fight. Now I'm working at the gym, and now I'm training and doing tournaments and winning championships, and managing the gym. But after that, I decided I didn't want to turn professional initially. I spent a year as a referee and a judge for USA Boxing, scoring fights and refereeing, which was cool.
It's hard. You got to take class for that?
You have to get certified, yeah. So you go and you take a course, and then they start training you and teaching you, right? And they bring you along slowly, and then you start judging, and then you start refereeing. So I did that for a year, and it was a cool experience, but it didn't really set my soul on fire, you know?
Yeah.
So I decided I was going to turn professional, and that was right when the pandemic happened. So they weren't having any fights in the U.S., so I started boxing professionally in Mexico because they were having fights outdoors. So I made my pro boxing debut.
So how did you heard about like fighting in Mexico? How did that even happen? Like, were you like, okay, I guess I'm going to Mexico and see if I can find a boxing gym?
So you get in contact with promoters, and then they put on fights, and so they get you set up with a fight, right? So we found a promoter in Tijuana, and they had my pro boxing debut was in September of 2020. So they were doing outdoor shows. So they built a ring outside in the parking lot of a baseball stadium, right? And then people drove their cars up to the ring and parked around it like a drive-in movie.
Oh, fuck. And they're honking?
Yeah, some of them, for sure. And people would like sit on top of their cars with masks on. And that was my pro boxing debut, which is pretty wild. I won.
You won too?
Uh-huh.
So what made you, so you winning, you're on like, apparently you're on a streak of winning.
Yeah.
And why all of a sudden, so first of all, for me, this bare knuckle boxing is what the fuck, is super wild. The first time I experienced this, the first time I saw bare knuckle boxing was in Lake Havasu. I was doing a gig in a bar, and it was during Biden. So first of all, it was during Biden era.
Yeah.
And Biden was not their president. There were like posters of Trump everywhere, and on the TV set, it was like, I'm watching this blood and bare knuckle fighting, and when you never heard about it and see it on a sports channel, like it's legal, and not only legal, it's like on TV and
like, what the fuck?
There's money. Yeah. What is this? And I'm about to do a show, and then we're in Arizona. It's open carry. Like, I'm like, where am I?
Yeah. Welcome to America, bro.
What is this?
Yeah.
And I was kind of shocked, but I was like so, like, for some reason, I don't know. I think human beings are attracted to violence.
For sure.
You can have like a lot of sex shop all around, but if one fight breaks, like everybody's gonna look at the fight, and we don't care about the pussies anymore.
For sure.
So. But it's so violent, and the risk, like, especially for your family or whatever. So how did you transition to regular boxing to, okay, I'm doing this?
So I had a couple fights in Mexico doing glove boxing, and I was winning. 2021, they were doing fights back inside, so I was like boxing in bars in Tijuana.
You box in bars?
Uh-huh. Like little nightclubs and shit, yeah.
The security looks like super, not only for the boxing fight, but also for whatever is happening in the bar.
Yeah. Tijuana's a wild place. We would go and fight in bars, and then afterwards we'd go out and party and go to the strip club and get tacos. It was a time of my life, right? So I was doing that, and I was having a lot of fun, but it wasn't really going anywhere. Boxing's a really hard sport to make it. Combat sports in general, I always say it's like acting, right? You tell people you're going to be an actor, people are like, good luck with that. Right? You know what I mean? It's just because...
Just a happy few get to get a slice of the pie.
Yeah, it's just it's a big world, and there's a lot of people in it, you know what I mean? So I'm boxing, and I'm winning fights, but it wasn't really going anywhere. And then one day I was watching YouTube, and a bare knuckle fight came on, and I was like, what the fuck is this?
You've never seen it before either?
I hadn't seen, like, live promo, like a real production.
Yeah, this is what I've seen.
Yeah.
That's pretty, like, the first time you see that, like, real production, like you're watching like Fox, you're watching a real channel, and like there's money in this, and you're like, what is this?
Yeah, and it was wild, right? I was blown away. So I watched the fight, and it's YouTube, so then the algorithm like cued another fight, and all of a sudden I ended up watching like 4 or 5 bare knuckle fights in a row, right? I'm like, this sport's fucking crazy. And I'm thinking to myself, because when you're a fighter, you know, like, you can watch other people and tell, like, I could beat that guy, or like, nah, that guy's better than me. Like, you know, and I'm watching these fights, and I'm like, I could beat most of those guys. And I didn't really think anything of it, right? And then on my phone, the next day, I'm scrolling. It's like, BKFC is having open tryouts in Tampa, Florida in 2 weeks.
BKFC is the bare knuckle
Fighting Championships, which is a big organization. It's probably the biggest organization in the world right now.
Actually, wait a minute. I'm gonna change the angle. Can I put that box? I think it's gonna be a bit better. But yeah, that's the thing about that show is I'm bringing that camera and when you order it, I will go. Let's go. And it slides. It's like a slide. It's not live, but I felt it like it's one shot. Perfect. All right. Oh. Way better.
Yeah, so I'm watching these fights, right? I wasn't impressed by the quality of the fighters. I thought I could beat a lot of those guys. And then I see on my phone that organization is having open tryouts in 2 weeks. And I remember thinking to myself, is this a sign from the universe?
Where was it?
Where was the tryouts?
Yeah.
Tampa, Florida.
Okay, so in your mind, you're like, I got to pay for my plane.
Plane ticket, motel, the whole thing. Like,
so you're investing in yourself.
Yeah, and I just said, fuck it, dude. And I bought the ticket, and I went, right? And I flew out there, and 100 people signed up for these tryouts. Only 50 people showed up. Half of them like signed up and didn't have the guts to show up or whatever.
Shit, how much was just the inscription?
What do you mean?
So when you signed up for those trials, do you have like to pay a fee of like signing up?
No, just sign up, show up, right? So 50 people showed up, and they said like, okay, today we're going to sign 5 of you to the promotion. Right.
And you're looking at everybody as an opponent.
Yeah, sure. You know, we didn't do any like sparring or anything like that. They had us do like pad work, bag work, hit a punch meter, and like do interviews.
Oh, they wanted to see that you're real boxers.
Yeah.
Mainly.
So they put us through the tryout. I ended up being one of the 5 guys that they signed. And then I'm like, oh shit, all right, this is happening. Like I'm doing this now. And that was in 2021. I made my debut with BKFC at the end of that year. And at that point, I was like traveling the country and going to shows and fighting and training. And I just made the decision that I was going to go all in and try and win a world championship in this sport. So that's how I got into that.
Dude, so you're in Tampa, you got this. So what's your first fight? And how long before you were accepted for the trials?
Took a couple months.
How scared were you? Like, how was your heartbeat going?
You know, it definitely is nerve-wracking. There's no way to prepare for bare knuckle, right? Like, you have to learn on the job. You know what I mean? Because you don't train bare knuckle, you get too seriously injured.
Now, if you go check his Instagram, there's like some crazy pictures. I put everything in the description. That's crazy. Like, in my mind is like this.
Yeah. So, yeah, I was in a lot of famous fights. I made my debut against Drake Hetfield in Wichita, Kansas. I won by...
Have you seen some, like real fighter? You got to analyze his fights, or there's no way...
he had over 30 pro fights, so he had a lot of tape. He had a lot more experience than me going into it, and he was 1-0 in bare knuckle with a knockout going into it. So he was the A side, as they call it. It's like A side, B side.
Yeah.
Right? He was A side. He was a local guy from Topeka, Kansas, which was nearby Wichita, and so they wanted him to be like a local ticket seller. And I knocked him the fuck out. And
after how many rounds?
Second round.
Second round?
Yeah, I caught him with a straight right, and that was the end of that.
And like before the fight, when you were watching him fight, is it like with the other fight you saw, like you were like, I can beat him? Like,
yeah, I can see where my openings are going to be, you know? We had a good game plan going into it. We had a really good performance. We had a great knockout, and that right away kind of made a big splash on that stage because it was a really new sport. So it was just beginning. There wasn't a lot of people in it at that point, you know what I mean? And having a big performance like that like helped kind of make me a star in the sport right away. I ended up leaving BKFC and I joined, it used to be called BYB, they're now called BKB, Bare Knuckle Boxing. I signed with them for a better deal. I had the knockout of the year in my first fight with them.
So what are the rules like? Is it like same 3-minute rounds?
So it depends on the promotion. BKB, they do 5 3-minute rounds. Championship fights are 6. So,
And do you have to learn how to, because like the first thing is, I'm not a fighter.
Yeah.
I went in a fight and I remember breaking. So I won the fight, but I could not shake a hand for a month and a half. Like I literally break my fist.
yeah.
So the question is, there's a way to like, because you know you're gonna be like, are you accepting? Okay, I'm gonna break my knuckles, or there's a way of doing it.
I mean, fortunately, I never broke my hand doing bare knuckle.
You never break.
No, not to say I didn't have hand injuries, because I did. Your hands
Yeah,
are
like this too. Look at this.
Your hands are wrecked after a bare knuckle fight. It's brutal. It's like punching a wall, dude. Like, you know, like you said, you're punch someone's skull.
Yeah.
It's really damaging. That's why they invented gloves. It's not to protect your face. It's to protect your hands.
Fuck yeah.
Right?
So yeah.
Because if you were a professional boxer in the 1800s and you break your hand, you're fucked. Because they didn't have good surgeries and medical intervention like they do now. That's why they made the gloves, right? But when you watch it, you notice people's faces get cut up really badly, right? And that's like the first thing that you notice. Like you mentioned, I've had some pretty bloody fights. I was in
dude, your face.
Yeah, I was in the fight of the year
You gotta
in 2023 for BKB. It's one of the craziest fights of all time. I broke my nose, I broke my jaw, and I had the worst hematoma in combat sports history. They wrote so many articles. Yeah, they wrote so many articles about it that it got me a blue check mark on Instagram.
That got you your blue check mark?
Yeah. Swear to God. It was on ESPN, dude. Stephen A. Smith talked about it. It's in Men's Journal, Barstool Sports. Like, it was everywhere, dude. People were sending me fucking articles that were in, like, Portuguese and Russian with my face all exploded and covered in blood.
Crazy.
Yeah, like, it went around the world. It was pretty nuts. Yeah.
How did you, like, you do realize that you're gonna have something like that, but you decide to still keep fighting, and you at one point you're like, okay, at one point it's getting dangerous for me, my integrity, and do you think about like do you ever you have a girlfriend at that time? You still have, like, if you have a girlfriend or your parents?
I did have a girl at that time. Yeah, and my dad was in the crowd watching that fight. Yeah, so it was my girl. I was I had a girlfriend. Because I was in Denver, and I actually lived with her for the rematch of that fight. But yeah, it was brutal. Him and I, we both were willing to die in that ring that night, and that's what made it such a crazy fight. That's why it was the Hall of Fame Fight of the Year award winner. It's definitely an honor to have been in a fight like that.
A real warrior, like that's like there's no doubt. This is like that's crazy.
Yeah, it's like you never want to have a fight like that. It takes years off your life, but that being said, there's a lot of pride in being in a real slugfest like that and being in a famous fight, right? The fight of the year made headlines all over because of my face and what a crazy fight it was. So as someone, I always grew up watching the sport as a kid. I was always a fan of the history of the sport, and so to get to be in a fight that made history, to me, means a lot.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course, dude, that's insane. And what was the talk with your father after that? What did he say? Like, he went in the locker room, and immediately at the locker room, like, what was...
Well, we took an ambulance to the emergency room.
Right after, like, you get off the ring, not even changing.
They put me on a stretcher and put me in the back of an ambulance.
So you saw your father and your girlfriend at the time, like, at the hospital?
My dad came. I told my girl not to.
You were,
Yeah.
She was crying?
I'm sure she was upset. I don't know. My coach and my dad came to the hospital with me for a while, and then they eventually left. Went back to the hotel to sleep, and then
What did they do to you at the hospital?
Nothing, man. They gave me a bunch of bags of fluid, and I just rested. There wasn't much that they could do. They don't do surgery right away for a broken jaw because it's not an emergency, so they scheduled the surgery back in California. I got surgery 8 or 9 days after the fight, so I had to walk around with a broken jaw for like over a week. And then when they fix it, it's brutal. So I had a left fracture of my mandible. So they
You
take it.
cannot eat, I guess.
Yeah, they take a titanium plate and they screw it to your face to like hold your chin together. So I have 2 titanium plates in my chin, and then they sew your mouth shut so that you can't eat for like 6 weeks. It's fucking brutal.
And how is like and fist? Like, you know, if you break his fist on you,
Yeah.
he broke.
Oh no, I don't know about that. I know he went to the hospital as well after that fight. I guess he was having really bad issues with concussions. Like he was fainting in the back, from what I was told.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So yeah, we both took an ambulance to the emergency room that night.
Dude. Oh my God, that's insane.
Yeah.
So how do you do? So how come you never broke your hand?
Part of it's probably luck.
So
Part of it is, you know, picking good punches. Like, this is a lot harder than this. This is a lot softer. Like, there's, you know what I mean? Like, there are certain places you want to punch. There's certain places you don't want to punch, right?
Oh, man.
Catching someone on the top of their forehead, this is where your skull is the hardest. You don't want to land punches there. You don't want to, like, accidentally land on an elbow or something like that. So picking good punches, being accurate with your punches, making a good fist is really important. If you have a limp fist and you slam it into something, you're going to hurt your hand. A hard fist is a hard punch. And then, yeah, using good technique.
is with that
The big 2, yeah.
the big 2?
And then lastly, having a good strength and conditioning coach. I have one of the best strength and conditioning coaches in the world. Shout out to Coach Corey Beasley. And he would always help get my grip real strong. And as a result, oh, you know, I'm sorry, we're filming something. Yeah, all good.
You want to answer?
No, it's okay.
You good?
Yeah. Where was I?
You would tell me about the big 2.
Oh yeah,
And how like
that's right. Corey Beasley, my
strength.
strength coach. I got
Yeah.
one of the best strength coaches in the world for combat sports, and he would always just help me get my grip really strong, right? And having
What
a
do you
strong,
do that? How you do that? You
just
like
different strength training exercises, carrying heavy shit.
how you work on your grip?
Yeah, working on your grip.
Yeah, I do that now. I got really into like, it's been 6 months, and I'm like working out every day. And I discovered a new face of myself, like doing it every day, even when I'm not motivated. Like
Yeah.
all of a sudden, I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna dedicate and have something that where I can be consistent.
Fuck yeah.
You know? And
Yeah.
so I've been doing it every day. It changed. I didn't know it's gonna change me that much.
Yeah,
You
you're
know?
a jock now.
That's fucking insane. So there's
Welcome to the club.
Yeah, I love that. I just love that. I feel so much better for a lot of things. And you know what? I can drink. Dude, at one point I was kind of drinking way too much. And I can drink, but I know how to, like, I don't know if that gave me the discipline where I can, like, just have one beer
Yeah.
and that's it. I would never be able to do that.
Well, yeah, because you develop discipline through training, doing a hard thing that you don't always want to do. You train your brain, fuck it, I'm going to do this anyway, right? And when you build up that discipline, you can then take that and apply it to other places in your life. Like, okay, you know what? I'm only going to have one beer, or I'm not going to eat that shitty food. Because discipline is like a muscle, and the more you train it, the stronger it gets.
The way you talk like this, I've seen on your Instagram that, like, now you're really into that. And I discovered those kind of things here in America. Since I moved here, I've never heard about ayahuasca, for instance, when I was in France. I've never heard about it. And I came here, and dude, you have all that. So now what's crazy, because we're just starting to understand that those things are not drugs, but really help people. And they've been pushing like opioids and stuff that are really dangerous
And kill you.
and
Get you
put that on
horribly
the side.
addicted.
And now that this, even like ibogaine that stops you from those opioids that they sold you, and all natural. This is which is even crazier. There's no chemicals, whatever. It's just from the earth. So how did you get involved with the ayahuasca thing?
So I've been a big fan of psychedelics for a long time. Psychedelics,
Big fan.
yeah, big fan. Psychedelics actually gave me the inspiration to turn professional. I was microdosing because I had read that microdosing magic mushrooms was good for people that have had traumatic brain injuries. And because I boxed throughout my 20s, I had a bunch of concussions from that. So I started microdosing, and that actually inspired me a bit to turn professional, right? It kind of gave me the courage to chase that dream. And I started microdosing when I was fighting. I've actually fought every single one of my pro fights on magic mushrooms. Every fight, I would increase the amount of mushrooms that I took, and I started getting better and better results, right, as I'm moving up.
That's crazy.
By the time I started doing bare knuckle, I was doing several grams of mushrooms over the course of the day before we'd fight that night.
So did you think you like either build like a kind of a tolerance, or you were like totally like, well, let's go?
I built up a tolerance, and like I said, I would do it over the course of the day. Sorry, it's loud back there. Sometimes there's a fan that just...
I just go crazy.
Yeah.
I want to be sure this is not like alarm or...
No, nothing like that. Yeah. But yeah, so I just kept doing more and more every fight, and then it got to a point where I was like, I want to see how much I can fucking take. Like, I wanted to do something crazy, right? I had read about this baseball pitcher, Doc Ellis, who accidentally took a bunch of LSD.
I heard about that. Yeah. How many? Like, what we're talking about? Hundreds of drops, like whatever.
He took a couple hits of acid, but he didn't think he was supposed to pitch that night, and so he took the LSD, and then they call him. They're like, "Hey, you need to get your ass down here. You're pitching tonight."
Yeah.
Right?
Sorry, I was mixing.
So
with
he's like,
another
"Oh
story.
shit!" So he gets down there. He's high as fuck, and he threw what's called a no-hitter. Nobody was able to hit his pitch. Now, it wasn't a perfect game. He hit a bunch of guys with balls, and he walked a lot of guys because he was so high. He was throwing all over the place, right? But like, it became this legendary statistic, right? In like sports lore, this dude took a bunch of LSD and pitched a no-hitter, and I was like, I want to do some shit like that, bro. So when I had the knockout of the year in 2022, that day I took 5 grams of mushrooms over the course of the day, and then I would fight that night.
That's crazy.
When I fought for the world title and I won, I took 7.5 grams of mushrooms that day. In my first title defense, which was the Fight of the Year award winner, I took 7 grams of mushrooms that day.
Can it make you like scared? Like, what is hard to understand is sometimes you're on those like things and you got like more fear of
sometimes
it.
It can get weird.
Yeah. And
You
go in a weird place.
It made me more confident. That's why I like taking it. It made me, like, large doses would make me very confident, and it would make me more creative in the ring.
You have no anger, you're in like...
Yeah, in my flow state. Yeah, dude, I would be ripping. So, and then, like I said, I wanted to do something crazy. I wanted to push it and see, like, how much I could take. I wanted to have a crazy stat like that. I want to take an unbelievable amount of mushrooms and go win a fucking bare knuckle boxing world championship. And I did it. And it's an unofficial world record. I don't think anybody's ever taken that much mushrooms in a combat sporting event, and especially winning a major world title. But yeah, 7.5 grams.
Crazy. The first time I did LSD in my life was for stand-up comedy. Cool. So I was like, arrived, pandemic, really hard to find a gig. I'm a comic, and I arrived now this pandemic. Actually, where we met the first time was Huntington Beach. So
HB Patio.
HB Patio, exactly. So they were doing this, but I found a gig in Vegas. And the only thing they would ask is to take either mushroom, either LSD. I never had LSD in my life. Now, you know what? I'm going to try it on stage.
What's the worst that could happen?
Oh my God.
Did you not totally kill? Did you not crush?
I did, but not in a comfortable way because, dude, so I arrived. So
you
do it at 7 and you got to go. I was on stage at 8:30.
Yeah.
And I don't feel good. I'm like, fuck, why am I doing this? Like, I'm like, what is going on? And I don't even speak English well, but on LSD, I'm like, wow, I don't even know how to put words together. This is crazy. I went on stage, they just told me I had to do 7 minutes, and we're going to light you at 6. So you got 1 more minute. Instead of that, I went on stage, and my first premise was long with no laugh. I don't know that I felt like so alone. And I start hitting with the first joke. It start working. And I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, I don't think I can manage this. And I look at the guy, and people know the comedian would be creeping, and they're like, and I tell them, I thought I could manage this, but I can't. I'm sorry, being super honest. People started laughing so hard, but I was scared for real. And I'm probably 45 seconds on stage, but I'm like, I don't know the time. Did I went over the time?
Yeah.
And I'm like, just 1 minute, I don't know. And I'm like looking at the lights, and I saw just lights everywhere. And I'm like,
People's cell phones.
like, dude, I don't know. I started hallucinating the lights. I just saw like people with their phone. You know when you do flying,
Yeah.
I just saw people doing.
Yeah.
But I think I was tripping. I didn't know if it was real. Well, the thing is, no, that was scary. But I did it, and that was fun. But I didn't. The people were laughing, but me,
Crying inside, dying inside.
I didn't know how to feel.
Yeah, too much. It was too much.
It was the first time also that was the little drops. It was not. You know, I've always heard about this little.
Did you do it like in your mouth?
Yeah, and they just drop you immediately the drops. Yeah, in the mouth. In the mouth. Yeah. Have you done that? The drops?
Yeah.
Did you train with that?
I've trained on LSD, not on the drops, but yeah, I've trained on LSD quite a bit. In fact, I took a tab of LSD this morning and I ran 8.5 miles.
It's really good for the cardio. I've noticed
Yeah,
that.
it's really good for the cardio.
I took LSD and I thought I think I walked for 4 hours.
I can run forever.
So now what do you do? Like, you still training? What's your...
Yeah, so I'm retired from fighting. My last fight was in September of 2024. I had 3 world title fights with BKB. The last one didn't go my way, and I was done. I just didn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
So I retired from fighting. Now I run a nonprofit scientific research group, Athletes Journey Home. And we actually provide psychedelic therapies for athletes with brain damage. And then our scientific team does data collection before, during, and after. So we do brain scans, blood work, gut biomes, like shit in a cup, saliva tests.
So you're working with
testing.
like scientists?
We have real scientists, doctors of pharmacology, psychopharmacology, doctors of ayahuasca. Like
Yeah,
really
isn't
smart
that you're doing
guys.
that also with Ian?
Yeah,
Who-
he is the CEO. I'm the COO. So we run it together. He is the founder of it.
Is he a former UFC fighter too?
Yeah, Ian was a UFC fighter and an MMA world champion, and he was my coach throughout my career. He started Athletes Journey Home and actually used my last world title fight to advocate for the nonprofit. So every interview I did, every podcast like this, I would say, hey, I'm coming back for Athletes Journey Home, trying to raise money for traumatic brain injury research. So I'm going to go out there and I'm going to give and I'm going to receive traumatic brain injuries to raise money and awareness
Awesome.
for traumatic brain injuries. And like I said, the fight didn't go my way. My last title fight was the first time I got knocked out. But the silver lining of that whole situation is that the president of my organization, Mike Vasquez, wrote us a big check to fund our first research project. And that's how we were able to take athletes and put them through psychedelic therapy and do our first research project. We got great results. We've put on 3 more retreats.
So you have a lot of that is for like the people that come to see you is former fighters.
Fighters and athletes of all different kinds of sports, but all of them
like
who've had traumatic
athletes.
brain injuries.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we
like
work with a lot
NFL,
of fighters.
I guess.
We worked with fighters. We've worked with rugby players, surfers. We had a gold medalist that was a bobsled champion. The guys that like shoot down
yeah.
They get fucked
What's
up.
this
when they
movie?
fall.
What's the name of the movie?
Cool Runnings.
Cool Runnings.
Yeah, the Jamaican bobsled.
Yeah,
team.
exactly.
Yeah.
The movie in French is not called the same way. I don't remember the name. Rasta Rocket. That's the name in France.
Racist as hell.
Cool Runnings.
Yeah. Love that. But yeah, so we work with all different kinds of athletes. We've had amazing results. We've done a mushroom study, 2 ayahuasca studies, and 1 ibogaine study.
It's ibogaine is it's crazy, but I feel like it's pretty new. Like I feel like why are we discovering this? And like I don't know. I know that Texas is like working on clinic tests and stuff like that, and they get like stuff like 80% success on big addictions. And
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck? And that was not even, and they knew the thing existed.
Yeah, they've been using it in Africa for thousands of years, but it's just become popular recently as far as research and treatment is concerned. It's really good, like you said, for addiction. We took a UFC fighter that had Parkinson's from all of his brain injuries, and we gave him ibogaine, and it cured his Parkinson's, and now he doesn't have Parkinson's.
What?
He's completely cured.
Did you have a proper Instagram for this thing?
Yeah, his name is Joker, Michael Guyman. Joker Guyman. Like I said, he was a UFC fighter, and his health problems were well documented. We took him to Cancun, Mexico, and gave him the ibogaine therapy, and now he doesn't have Parkinson's. He's going to go to our fundraiser tonight and watch the fights with us. He's become a good friend of mine and someone who...
Oh, you did the fundraiser just right after?
Yeah, we watched the UFC fights with UFC fighters.
I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to do that with you because I don't see myself driving anyways.
Yeah, come by, dude.
Yeah?
Pull up. Let's go.
Dude, this is fucking crazy. What a life.
Yeah, for sure. It's been the craziest adventure I've ever been on, dude.
Remember the first time you did ayahuasca?
Yeah, I've only done it the one time. We went to Colombia in January. We stayed at this retreat center in the mountains of Colombia, and we did 4 ceremonies over 5 days.
Wait, this big. I love that show. I was doing this show in France. It's always like I rap like this, and
Yeah.
there's always something. I never
For
know
sure.
where to put the camera, and I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, you were
No,
saying.
yeah, we did a bunch of ayahuasca in Colombia, and it was rad. Yeah. I fucking love ayahuasca. I think everybody should do it.
It is like super intense. It is something. I did it in like it's not something that. It's not something you take by yourself.
No, it's not something you do lightly. You gotta do it in ceremony with a fucking shaman and all kinds of rituals and crazy shit.
Dude, I have a special enzyme. Well, I don't know, but I know that there's a few people that won't feel the ayahuasca. There's a few people. So the shaman started telling us that before we take the first pour. And he's like, everybody got different enzyme. The time of being high is different. So I took the first pour, and I'm waiting, and there's shamans. There were 2 shamans, and they're starting like they're starting talking, singing, and like like stuff like I don't understand, and I don't feel anything, but I thought maybe I feel something. What is going on? And the other people are starting crawling in the ground like fucking crazy, and at one point I remember thinking, is it just a fucking act? Like this ayahuasca thing is not fucking real, and or I'm one of those guys that, and I was so fucking, and the shaman's coming to me, and now I want to laugh, like right in front of my eye. They call that what?
Icaros.
Icaros?
They sing to you.
Yeah, so he starts singing to me, and I'm like, and I'm looking at him, that all right,
Starts pulling shit out of you.
sure, yeah. He goes, and then he says, second pour. Like, I see that on the 12th, only 2. Me and another were like, okay, so I'm like, the other are so fucked up, they're not taking the second, I'm taking the second.
How nasty is it, by the way?
So it was nasty, so I did it multiple times.
Yeah, it gets worse every time you drink it.
Yeah, exactly. So at the beginning it was okay.
Yeah.
But I reached a point, even seeing someone drinking it with my...
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
Like the substance looked like kind of blood, like disgusting. And I didn't see it like that the first time. And that's one of the crazy thing about that.
Yeah.
So I took the second, and as soon as I take the second, like 30 seconds,
Boom.
like I see this like hogs like what the fuck, and I'm like, first and I was, as I'm falling, I remember a voice saying, that's just the first one. And I'm like, I'm fucked, and I'm started like falling, and at one point the shaman said, okay, you're gonna have a choice between the good trip and the bad trip. And you're gonna have to take the bad trip. You're here to face your demons. you cannot face your demons if you don't like. And I she's like, fuck, and I fall. And I remember the voice of the shaman saying this, you know, and I'm like, fuck. And I see a whole, you know, it was on the, dude, this thing is so vivid and so fucking, the hallucination are so fucking strong.
Yeah.
I felt like I was on the, remember in Mario Brother, the plant? I was on the edge of that thing and I see the thing waiting for me down the plant. And I'm like, let's go. I remember like, and it felt like dying, dude. It felt like, I was like, dude, this what the fuck? And I'm thinking about my kids, family. And
Turn you into Super Mario.
Dude, I remember having seen the continue 9, 8, 7. You know when you had to put a coin if you want to continue the party, and let's keep playing. And I just like I want to keep playing. It's like everything was a game.
Crazy.
Just keep playing. Playing life. Dude, those things are intense. So you've seen like. You've been tripping for real too. Like you tried the ibogaine?
I did ibogaine
so
as well.
How's that?
Ibogaine was wild, dude. It's 12 hours and you're in a hospital bed. And when you take it, you can't walk, right? So like you're kind of paralyzed. People have to like help you to the bathroom and stuff. And they give you these blinders, right?
Oh, you got a blindfold?
Yeah, and like if you take them off, everything looks kind of normal. You see kind of like tracers on things, but everything looks normal, and you can talk, and you're normal, right? You're like, hey, I need to go to the bathroom. Like, okay, we'll help you. They go, right? You come back. When you put the blinders on, and then you put headphones in, and it plays music, you start to see things. And I had this crazy journey. I went in outer space, and I was like, hovering over Jupiter, and I was looking at it and started thinking about the infinite nature of the universe, and I had this conversation with what I think was God, and they told me that they were real and that my ego is the cause of all my problems. Yeah, that was my ibogaine journey. It was pretty wild.
12 hours.
Yeah.
12 hours is like ayahuasca is like, what, 4 or 5 hours?
4 to 6 hours, yeah, depending on the second cup.
So 12 hours is...
Yeah.
And also, I feel like ayahuasca, you're in a circle, you're not in a hospital bed.
Yeah, you're out you should be out in the jungle, right? We were in the jungle, we had a fire, nobody was allowed to talk, so everyone had to be quiet, and you were just like in your trip. My ayahuasca journey was really cool. I felt like I talked to Mother Nature when I did ayahuasca, and she told me a lot of things about myself and about the world and how to be.
Is it weird, like, because in the circle, did you see like people breaking up, crying, or?
Sometimes people would be having a tough trip. A lot of people had really positive experiences. There's a lot of experienced people with psychedelics who had done other journeys before, you know, so it was a good group.
Dude, that's fucking crazy. I have to do one more. I did 3 ayahuasca, and that's something in my mind too. It's not something you do, like.
You don't take it lightly.
Yeah, exactly. It's something, but it's dude. Like I've never understood. Like it's a part of your brain that you can travel the world, but sometimes you just got to travel your mind. Because it's like really exploring some part of, and you're seeing stuff of your past that you thought that you have forgotten, and that shows up. You're seeing your friends you forgot about. I don't know. It's
dead relatives.
Yeah, this is.
Yeah, I think it puts you in contact with another dimension.
Yeah, now I feel like, there's stuff that I thought were not possible. And now I'm thinking about that, and I'm like, oh, telepathy?
Uh-huh.
I would never think it's real. And now I've been having own experience with a friend, and we were both high on DMT.
Uh-huh.
And what happened was, there's no way of explaining except it's telepathy. Like that was crazy. And at one point I said, dude, I think this is synchronized instant that we're having. My Spotify was on random for some reason, I don't know, and the song that was playing was like, I love that song. I've never heard that song. I looked at it. First of all, there was a song that lasted only 1 minute on Spotify, and the song on Spotify is called Synchronized Instant. As I said, dude, we're having a synchronized instant. And then, what the fuck? Like, that was the, what the fuck, you know? Crazy.
DMT is wild.
So I think there's part that...
You know, when you die, your brain releases a massive amount of DMT. You have a giant DMT trip
crazy.
right before you die, and that's a fact.
Well, you know, I've heard, I don't know if it's true, but apparently the people that, maybe I need to dive in it, and maybe I'm saying bullshit, but if you were born with a C-section, there's people that are not feeling the effects of DMT, apparently.
What a bummer. Yeah.
I would love that to be studied. I need to look up, because can you imagine what that means? That the DMT is directly related to, like, the birth.
Yeah, I don't know what the implications of that are, but it's interesting. I would have to look into that. I haven't heard that. Fortunately for me, I came out of my mom's birth canal. So DMT works on me, and I love it. I love DMT.
Dude, yeah. Sorry, I interrupted you. No, I just wanted to say I'm happy to have been here. This is really good. I wanted to look one more time at the gym.
Great to have you, my friend.
Yeah.
See you again.
That's fucking awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, bro.
Is it like for you, like fucking? And yeah, after we're gonna go. Is it okay for me to go to the fundraising thing?
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
Okay.
It's a public event. Come, dude. The more people, the better.
All right. Maybe one day I should come here and just have one little training.
Yeah. Great awesome. We got some great fighters here. I won a world championship. Chelsea Meme Anderson is one of the top-rated female boxers in the world. Coach Bobby, who owns the gym, he was a pro himself. And we got a bunch of good fighters here. Coach Matt, he was Coach Bobby's coach.
That's a crazy work.
Coach Matt was from Japan. He trained 7 world champions. He was Bobby's coach, and he would coach Chelsea as well. He passed away a couple years ago. Rest in peace to Coach Matt.